I still remember the day they told me I was wasting my life. I was just a kid then, maybe 16, standing in the living room, clutching a battered, torn letter I'd found buried in the attic. My father scoffed. "What's the point? That letter's worthless, just like your dreams." My mother shook her head, eyes narrowing. "You're obsessed with old junk. Nobody cares about your stupid stories." That was the first time I felt the sting of rejection. Like I was trying to build something out of dust, something nobody wanted or understood. They ridiculed my obsession with those tattered letters, dismissing it as childish, pointless, a distraction from real pursuits. To them, I was chasing shadows, an embarrassment. They didn't see the value in the past, in whispers of ancestors, in stories that could bridge generations. They told me I'd fail, that my effort was futile, but I couldn't let go. Something inside me said these stories mattered. They were the roots of who we were. So I left. I abandoned my dreams of a normal life, of a career, of acceptance. I dove headfirst into restoring those letters, painstakingly cleaning, deciphering, piecing together fragments of history. I became the family archivist, a relentless collector of memories, a keeper of stories buried under years of dust. It was lonely work. My family dismissed me even more, mocking my obsession behind my back, calling me the crazy lady with her stupid letters. But I didn't care. I knew I was doing something meaningful. Years passed. My work grew beyond restoring dusty capers. I uncovered stories, lost love letters, secret friendships, histories of resilience from our ancestors. Each discovery was a revelation, a thread pulling at the fabric of our fractured family. I connected long-lost relatives through shared stories, rekindled pride in our heritage, and slowly the mockery faded into curiosity. But I knew deep down that proving them wrong was only part of my journey. Then, one day, everything changed. I built something out of the stories I'd uncovered. I transformed the barren, neglected land around our ancestral estate into a thriving ecosystem, restoring a forgotten corner of our heritage, not just with stories, but with life. I planted native trees, revived neglected waterways, and created a sanctuary that drew in birds, bees, and butterflies. It wasn't just environmental. It was a living testament to resilience, renewal, and the power of roots. And I became something nobody in my family ever imagined I could be, a pioneer of healing, of land, of history, of identity. My efforts gained recognition, published books, earned awards, all driven by that stubborn belief that the past had a future, that stories and land alike deserved respect. But I knew what was coming. I knew the day I'd return home, and my family would have to confront what they dismissed for so long. I had achieved what they called ridiculous, not just in restoring land, but in restoring pride. I was no longer invisible, no longer a laughingstock. So I came back, not just to visit, but to show them. To show them what I'd become. The drive up the old dirt road felt surreal, like stepping into a dream I'd fought so hard to realize. I saw their faces. Skeptical, guarded, dismissive. My father, now older, looked at me with a mixture of anger and disbelief. My mother's eyes widened as she took in the lush greenery surrounding the house. an oasis where once there was only neglect. They followed me as I led them through the land I had transformed. We walked past towering native trees, vibrant blooms, and clean waterways teeming with life. Every step was a silent indictment of their guilt. I watched the realization dawn on their faces. This was no longer the barren, forgotten land they'd mocked. It was a testament to perseverance, to hope, to the stories I had fought to preserve. Then I took them to the main clearing. I had prepared a surprise, a small outdoor gathering, a celebration of our heritage. I invited local community members, environmentalists, historians, all witnesses to what I had built. As they looked around, I saw the shift in their expressions, curiosity giving way to awe, skepticism melting into reverence. And then I told them my story, about those letters, about the years of obsession, about how every torn piece of paper was a fragment of our family's soul. I explained how I'd become the custodian of our history, and how that history had given me purpose and strength. As I finished, I turned to face them. I saw my father's eyes glistening, a flicker of pride I'd never seen before. My mother's lips trembled, and her hands clutched her chest as if trying to hold back tears. The mockery, the dismissiveness, they all evaporated in that moment. The silence was heavy with unspoken regret, with acknowledgement of what they'd dismissed and what I'd become despite them. And then my father spoke, his voice thick with emotion. "I was wrong," he admitted. "You weren't wasting your time. You proved us all wrong." That moment was a catharsis, an explosion of everything I'd endured, everything I'd fought for. I didn't need their approval, but to see them face the truth of what I'd built, that was the greatest victory of all. Walking away from that day, I felt a profound sense of peace. The mockery that once haunted me had transformed into admiration. My journey had proved that our roots, no matter how buried, can be rediscovered, restored, and celebrated. The stories I'd fought to save weren't just relics. They were lifelines, bridges to our future. And I realized something vital. The greatest triumph isn't just in achieving success, but in staying true to what you believe in. Because in the end, resilience, passion, and faith in your purpose will always find a way to triumph. So, to anyone listening, don't let the noise of rejection drown out your voice. Your dreams, your stories, no matter how ridiculous they seem, are worth fighting for. Because someday the world will see what you've become, and your roots will finally be recognized as the foundation of everything beautiful that follows. And that, my friends, is the real victory.